The part about being a nomad, a traveler, or even a seasonal snowbird, the negative part of that is that you rip yourself out of an environment, meaning you form emotional connections, logistical connections, and you form a routine within a certain area once you find out the environment that kind of suits you. And then once you get going and thriving in that environment, you rip yourself out. All the people that you normally see, all the things you normally do, and the places you normally go, you tear that out of your life and you have to go to a new place and start that same process again. And then as soon as you go to a new place that you kind of like, because remember, when you travel, the whole point of traveling is to experience things, but then to find places you like and spend more time there, right? That's the whole point, really. Experiences, and then finding an environment with activities that suits your best life, and then spending more time there. And then so now you start to form habits in a certain environment, another environment, and you start the whole cycle where now you get a flow, you get going, and life's about a flow, right? You get a flow in an area, and then you say, okay, now it's time to leave here, and you rip yourself out. So, that's why for me, I don't promote being a snowbird, because I don't like that. For me, I probably would not even travel anymore, especially up north, even in the summer, if my mother wasn't here. For me, I didn't travel because I wanted a decal. I didn't travel because I wanted a decal on the side of my vehicle showing where I went. I traveled to experience environments and see what is the best environment for me, the climate and the culture. The climate and the culture. Because I found too, I went to an area that had a great climate, the climate I liked, but the culture sucked. Okay. So I say all that to say, definitely once you find where you want to spend 90% of your time, nothing's 100% perfect. Nothing. But once you find where you want to spend 90% of your time, allocate some of your resources to buy a home base. Okay. Whether it's a piece of land, and if you're going to buy a piece of land, make sure you can put a regular house on it, because that's the value. RV lot, but even with the RV lot, make sure you could build probably some type of regular structure there too, because that's the future eventually. Or whatever, some type of home base. You figure it out, okay, for you, because everyone's different. I get that. But I'm saying all that to say, while travel is good, maybe 10% of the year, and 10% of a year, if there's 12 months in a year, 10% of the year is 3 months. And that's a long time. And that's why I say, to be a snowbird, to travel somewhere 6 months, or to go somewhere 6 months and then go another place 6 months, to me, that's a total disruption of your flow of life, your rhythm of life. So I think that's very unhealthy, and that's why I see a lot of snowbirds, eventually they sell one of their properties, because you get too old to disrupt that much of your year. That's crazy. So for me, this is my opinion, my perspective based off my experience. So, I like a little variation, but I look, I'd put a lot of work into figuring out where I want to spend 90% of my time, and really 100% of my time almost. And I'm grateful that I found that. Okay. I'm grateful that I focused on that. I'm grateful that when I find myself close but not there, I didn't settle and I ripped myself out of another environment to put myself back in a different environment. But I'm sharing this video to cover this general topic, okay, of traveling, of nomad, of home base, of seasonal, all these things. And also, as I'm going through it now, I'm traveling as I make this video. Who knows when you'll watch this video, but this is now my experience. As I'm going on 7 years in this nomadic life, in the past 2 years, I bought a home base where I want to spend most of my time, and I'm glad I did, even though I had to change that a little bit, and I'm glad I changed it. When you finally buy a home base, if you got to change something, change it. Okay, I don't care if you even got to lose a little money, change it. But I want to share with you, because people are everything. Climate is very important, and then the people. You need to be around good people. It's Rob Dyrdek's #1 rule of success. Surround yourself with good people. If you're around people that are suing each other, bad people. Okay, you can't get along. You can't change that. It's like, sometimes people ask me, what's my recommendation for an area that's always at war? I would tell you, become a war refugee and get the hell out of there, because there's a certain mindset in a certain area where people just can't get along. And you could sue the HOA, you could sue your neighbor, but I want to tell you guys, how does that end? A life of conflict, okay? And that's why, to me, I want to go overall. There's going to be disagreement, but I want to go overall where people are trying to go in the same direction. Okay? I don't want to fight the people I live amongst. Never forget that. So I want to tell you, I want to share this too real quick, this extra bonus. I remember the first property I owned in New Jersey, there was a security guard. We had a security guard at the gate. He was from Lebanon, and his wife died in a bombing. Okay, this was like fucking 50 years ago. And when I see things now, I say, oh my God, he was fighting that, and his wife died in this bombing. And I said to myself, and what'd he do? He got the hell out of Dodge, came to New Jersey, came to America. What in life, guys? And what I could tell you, don't try. If you find yourself in a bad part of America, move. Anywhere, bad part of the world, move. Why? Because even like I traveled America, and what I told you is most of America, guys, not that nice. People make all these videos. America's a great place. It is a great place as far as opportunity and et cetera, et cetera. But most of the areas are poor or nasty looking. Yeah. Only the rich part, only certain areas are very nice. That's true. All right, let's stay positive. And be by the beach, in my opinion. Do what you want. And mountains, not for me. All right, what are we talking about? We're talking about this. You form connections, you form a bond with an area, and then you got to rip yourself out of it. And that's a lot of disruption. Disruption is good when you need to change, but when you find yourself where you want to plant yourself, and then you force yourself to change, that's, you gotta be careful. Some people need to change. They need to disrupt their life. They're too scared to do it. I understand why, but you got to push yourself, and that's why you got to be intense. And, look, if you have family members in other areas, etc., I think you should push yourself to visit. I do it. I'm glad I do it. I think it's important. But it's a reminder of this topic of travel, of nomadic life, of not being rooted somewhere, not being planted somewhere. Not because I want you to join a club, not because I want you to be part of a group or a pack, but at the essence of self-care is finding an environment where you, as a living being, can plant yourself somewhere just like a flower and grow, okay? And when you're constantly moving and changing environments, you're going to learn, you are going to grow to a certain extent, but you're not going to flourish. Why? You have to spend too much time in survival mode trying to figure out the area, the logistics, the people, and less time in thriving mood, letting your flower buds completely open to the Florida sunshine. I hope this video helped. If it did, click that thumbs up, share the video, and leave a positive comment. Those are free ways, very free, guys. I mean, you can't get any freer than that, okay? That you can support the channel, okay? That's all. I mean, guys, I think that's very fair. I mean, that's actually more than fair, but I'm trying to be positive. I mean, guys, come on. I love you. I'll see you next video.